Welcome back to Tech by Pike. With the announcement of the Lenovo Legion Go handheld gaming device, there's been lots of review speculation around feature, performance, battery life, and the hype is getting extremely loud. We still have a few weeks before it's actually released. But the specs themselves out on the Lenovo website are pretty impressive. You're going to get an 8.8 10-point touch screen up to 144 Hertz, 2560 by 1600 resolution, 500 nits of max brightness, AMD Ryzen processor at 8 cores, 16 threads, RDNA 3 graphics. It has Legion cold front thermals, flexible power modes, and can get up to a max 20 watt TDP. You can get up to 1 terabyte SSD storage and 16 gigs of LPDDR5X memory. Has a micro SD card slot that supports up to a 2 terabyte card, although I'm not sure I've seen a 2 terabyte card. I'm sure they're out there. And a 49.2 watt hour battery capacity with rapid charging. At this time, I'm unable to actually pre-order the Lenovo Legion Go, but I am on the list. So once I get that alert, I'll be jumping on that and purchasing it so we can actually physically review it on this channel. But today's video is more about a handheld console that was launched last month, and it's the One X Player 2 Pro, which I'm enjoying having around and have done a lot of benchmarking and some gaming on it. And I want to bring those results to you. This has an AMD Ryzen 7 784U processor, 8 cores, 16 threads, RDNA 3 graphics, gets up to about 5.1 gigahertz. 8.4 2560 by 1600 2.5K screen, 358 pixels per inch, max brightness is around 350 nits at a 60 hertz refresh rate, which I wish it was 120 at least. 32 gigs of LPDDR5X memory, 1 terabyte storage, PCIe 4.0, and then it has a 65.5 watt battery, and then the cooling is made up of copper and heat sinks. The speakers are brought to you by Harman AudioEFX. So that's the One X Player 2 specs, and I want to go over the chassis and all that too, and what I've found as far as ports and so forth. But all that being said, I also want to compare it with the performance of the Asus ROG Ally that was released in June 2023. And the specs on the Ally are as followed. 7-inch, 120 Hz, Full HD 1080p touchscreen with AMD's FreeSync technology, AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor, 8 cores, 16 threads, AMD RDNA 3 graphics, it's 4 gigabytes of VRAM, 512 NVMe PCIe 4 M.2 SSD, 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5, 6400 RAM, has Republic of Gamers ROG intelligent cooling, surround sound powered by Dolby Atmos technology, and it has a 40 watt hour battery. I'm sure all that is mind-numbing and as clear as mud, and I'm going to muddy the waters a little bit more because this morning I received an alert for another handheld gaming device hitting the market mid-October by the manufacturer of the One X Player lineup, and that is the One X Player Fly. It's a smaller 7-inch version of the One X Player Pro 2, but it has some higher specs like 120 Hertz refresh rate on its screen, and we're really looking forward to getting that too in-house so we can compare it with the Lenovo Legion Go. So lots of handheld gaming devices, and they're becoming more prevalent nowadays, and I have to admit I'm really excited about that. Are you exhausted from all the specs? Let's get into it. Both gaming consoles come with a gaming performance app. The One X Player comes with their Game Center, And the Ally comes with a somewhat watered down version of Armory Crate, which is called Armory Crate SE. If you're familiar with Armory Crate, it really is hands and feet above the One X Player software, as you can see. When it comes to our benchmarking results of both consoles, the Asus ROG Ally comes out ahead of the One X Player 2 Pro. From 3D Mark to Cinebench, and we used Geekbench 6. While benchmarking, we did test the fan noise and the console temps. When it comes to the temps, it really is how you look at it. Yes, the One X Player got a few degrees hotter on the main console, but the joystick stayed cool, and that's because it can be separated from the body and be used independently. The Asus ROG Ally doesn't have this feature, and it did get a little toasty on the left-hand side. Fan noise was pretty comparable. They both got around 40 decibels, and it really wasn't all that loud, to be honest with you. So while gaming, I really didn't notice it all that much on both. All right, we're checking out the speakers on the One X Player 2 Pro that launched last month. We're gonna use a song out here on Epidemic Sound, which I have a sub for. All right, we're gonna start out here at 50%. $75 or 4. $100%. Actually, that's not bad at all at 100%. It gets pretty loud, and I didn't really hear a lot of bass, but there was some there, and it wasn't as tinny at the top as the previous version from last year speakers. So I like these ones a lot better. We're going to test the speakers with a little music off of Epidemic Sound. The song was Rewind That by Curly. And we're going to start it off at 50%. $75. $100%. So I think the Asus ROG Ally speakers are really good. I didn't hear any distortion at 100%, and I could tell there was some bass there, so that sounded really good. It didn't get as loud as the One X Player 2 Pro from last month, but I think that's okay. I think it got loud enough without the distortion on the top like the One X Player did. So it's good stuff. We pitted the One X Player 2 Pro versus the Asus ROG Ally on some in-game benchmarking tools with some familiar games you might know, like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Horizon Zero Dawn, Cyberpunk 2077, and Assassin's Creed. And the One X Player 2 is the light blue bars, and the Asus ROG Ally is the dark blue bars. And you can see here clearly that the Asus ROG Ally beat out the One X Player 2 Pro on every game and every setting. So that's it for the One X Player 2 Pro handheld gaming device. You know, it's a pretty decent gamer. The benchmarking wasn't too bad, but the Asus ROG Ally still kicked its ass. So I don't know what to say. $12.99 versus $7.99. You make the choice. I think the Asus ROG Ally is going to be a real competitor still against the Lenovo Legion. Go handheld gaming device. I am looking forward to getting the smaller version of the 1X Player, the 1X Player Fly that comes out in October. And we'll do some comparisons against the Asus ROG Ally, and hopefully a Lenovo Legion Go will be out by that time. And we can go a three-way heads-up type of comparison. We'll see. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this from Tech by Pike, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. Helps the channel. Not only that, gives us an opportunity to bring more videos like this to you. And for that, we thank you. We'll see you in the next one.